This episode of Dakota Destinations is presented by Vern Idy Motoplex.
Got it. Yep.
Nice one. Nice fish. That's beautiful.
That is a beauty. Look at that one. Wow. Welcome to Dakota Destinations. Coming up on tonight's show, when Spencer Deitz was growing up, he was lucky enough to have a dad who introduced he and his brother to fishing. Spencer was hooked from the get-go. Now part of what he does is get other kids excited about fishing. Also tonight, you've probably searched your backyard for night crawlers, maybe even set out your own bait traps. But what about angling for bait? We'll follow a man who searches local creeks for redtails and creek chubs. And also tonight, we'll hit the waters of Devil's Lake with a man who knows firsthand the growing popularity of fishing on one of the top walleye waters in the Midwest. Our first destination, the Lakes Country of western Minnesota.
I'm just looking for some contours, tight little cups. The fish kind of like to hang in the cups or on the outside edges.
A sunny Saturday in May. Spencer Deitz is on one of his favorite lakes in Minnesota's Otter Tail County. He knows finding walleyes might be a challenge today.
This water clarity is absolutely crazy, but this is as clean as I've ever seen it. We're 12.8 feet right here, and we can see the bottom. I mean, we can see rocks, and if there's fish swimming, we can see the fish. We can see everything.
Like most days, Spencer's fishing partner for the day is his dad, Ron, a 33-year employee of Mid-Continent Communications.
Oh, you're gonna get fishy today.
I know.
Yeah.
Spencer and Ron make up Team Deitz.
I fish at tournaments with my dad, so we fish 7 tournaments a year or so, and every one I'm fishing with my dad. So it's just a great thing, and I'd love it. I don't know if there's any more father-son teams, maybe one in the whole circuit out there.
They fish the Pro Walleye Tour together.
Pick 'em.
There he's on. So this is about I would say a 17 to an 18-inch walleye. We'll see if we can't just grab it here. Yeah, we're good though.
And in the spirit of paying it forward, Spencer is passing on his love of fishing.
It's a nice fish out here. He's got the hook way down in his throat. And a little trick is you go behind the gill to get it out. If you were to come in here, you wouldn't be able to get anything. The hook would just stay in there and you'd be ripping and hurting the fish. So when the hook is shoved way down in there, just come back behind the gill and then you can get him that way. We'll measure this fish and we'll see how long he is. It's about a 19 1/4. So that's a pretty nice fish. We're gonna let him go and let somebody else catch him.
Hoping to inspire others to get hooked, specifically youngsters.
Yeah, we choose to get kids involved in the sport of fishing or even in the outdoors just because, we'd rather have them messing around with the tackle box than an Xbox, really. I saw a photo one time and 2 kids sitting at the edge of the dock, and it just said, because memories aren't made playing video games, and it's true. It's really what it is, so it's fun.
You got fish here, right?
I do. I got a fish on here. Looks like it's a pretty decent walleye, actually. But yeah, back to the kids. I mean, there's nothing better than getting a bunch of kids involved in the sport of fishing. We actually have Addie with us today.
10-year-old Addison Holcomb is in the boat today with Spencer and Ron. She's a big fan of fishing and hockey.
Some of my favorite hockey players and hockey teams are the Chicago Blackhawks. I like Jonathan Taves and Patrick Kane.
She's been a great fisherwoman all day today.
Right now I'm fishing for walleyes, and I've caught a lot of different fish. Bluegills, sunfish.
Oh, he's gonna run on you.
The walleye?
Yep. Can you bring them out?
Okay, up, you gotta go up with the pole, Addie. Oh. Look at that walleye. Oh, that's a dandy. That is a dandy.
I just caught a big fish. Yeah, it is. It's my biggest walleye ever.
That's what it's all about. Addie just caught about a 22-inch walleye. She said it's the biggest walleye. It might even be the biggest fish she's ever caught. Just excited, happy. You really can't beat it.
Just about 22 inches. That's a
Wow.
big fish. You better let him go, okay? Nice and slow. Keep her out. Yeah, we're doing just fine. Keep going. Get it nice and tight.
What do you think it is, Addie?
Big.
Keep rolling. He had that weed on him.
Whoa! What happened there?
Went crazy.
And thanks to friends and family, she's already becoming a young outdoorsman.
My grandma and grandpa on the farm and we hunt there a lot. That was cool. So, my mom and my grandpa get a deer license every year so we can go deer hunting. Last year was my first deer and my brother was with my grandma. It took us longer to get ready than to get out there and get it. So, pretty fast.
Spencer is one of the region's most active advocates of getting kids hooked on fishing. On the Pro Tour, he leads kids clinics through the National Pro Anglers Association's Future Angler Foundation. And closer to home, he serves as the youth director for FM Walleyes Unlimited.
Every year we do a youth clinic over at Courts Plus in Fargo, North Dakota. And it's usually, we get a lot of kids. I got a fish going here too. And we get a lot of kids. This year we had 88, last year we had 110. So it's pretty crazy how many kids actually show up for these events. And we teach them about aquatic nuisance species, identifying fish, how to tie knots. And then we also give them rod and reel combos. And those rod and reels that we do give out are courtesy of the National Professional Anglers Association, the Future Angler Foundation. They're very good. They love getting kids involved.
Ready to go there, Addie?
Yep.
Huh?
Yeah.
It's very important to get these kids involved in the sport. One reason we want to grow the sport, if we're not getting any of these kids involved, we're not growing the sport of fishing. So
Spencer's taking us to a new step with our fishing and getting kids involved, and get kids involved in in the sport itself. And
Spencer and Ron, son and dad, have a lot of fishing memories together. Ron worked in Devil's Lake for a number of years. It was there his interest in fishing spiked. And by the time Spencer was 15, he was fishing competitively. At age 20, he was fishing the Pro Walleye Tour. His choice of a partner? Dad, of course.
my mom, his wife, she loves us doing it together. There's no questions asked. We're gone a lot, we travel a lot, we're on the road a lot. And you're with your son, I'm with my dad. It's about the sport of fishing and it's about the competitive edge of tournament angling, but there's a lot more to it than that, and there's never any questions if we're going or if we're going to have time, because we actually make time to do it, because it's for family and it's just a great time to do it. Another nice walleye.
The two make a good team. They qualified for the National Team Championship in 2012 and the World Walleye Championship in 3 of the past 4 years.
Caught him on that red tail right there.
And after a little snack and more hockey talk,
My dad and his brothers played hockey when they were little, so I just started to play. He got me open skating a lot. I was like 3, and I just learned how to skate and I wanted to play.
Addison is back at it, catching fish, making fishing memories.
It was just very fun to be out here with everybody else, and I would love to do this again, but today was really fun.
You can bet that Addie will be looking to get back in the boat with Spencer and Ron real soon. Still to come on Dakota Destinations, a man who catches his own bait. But next, we're bound for Devil's Lake.
Dakota Destinations on Midco Sports Network is presented by Vern Idy Motoplex.
How do you juggle being a husband, a father, a teacher, a hockey coach, and a fishing guide? Well, just ask Mark Bry, who calls Devil's Lake his home water.
We're gonna fish this shallow bay here.
Yeah.
There's a creek I'm gonna go fish with you, and then we're gonna go fish ourselves in another shallow bay and work our way back. In reality, the best thing ever happened out here was this lake went up.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, there's probably a couple of farmers that would disagree with me, but overall, for the economy and for just what's going on, I mean, great duck hunting. I mean, the guy from Missouri wants to come back in the fall and go duck hunting.
You won't hear Mark Bry talk too much about the bite on Devil's Lake. He believes it can be the kiss of death. He just goes fishing, and usually the fishing takes care of itself. Devil's Lake, Bry says, is good enough that you'll find that pocket. Another walleye. You'll find the bite.
Frying pan walleye, I think, Dan.
How about that, Mark? You're on him.
Nice one, actually.
Oh, yeah, nice fish.
Yeah, pretty
That is
fish.
a very nice fish.
Yeah, that one just pounded it too. Up in like 3 feet of water there.
How about that?
Yeah, nice fish.
So, a lot of times it's intuition, other decisions based on prior knowledge, but I mean, you had a feeling about this area back here.
Yeah, you know, I'm looking
What was
at,
it about it today that you had a feeling about this
you
area?
know, maybe the camera can check the water out and can read that, but it's not clear.
Yeah.
It's stained a little bit. There's a little bit of a wind coming in here. The water temps in the 60s. Those are all variables that equal that.
Yeah.
You know, clear water doesn't work as well.
Nice fish.
Stained water. There's some bugs in there. There's some shrimp floating around. There's life in there. That's why these are in there.
Like a lot of youngsters growing up in Grand Forks, Mark Bry had two major boyhood hobbies, hockey and fishing. He was a gifted defenseman for Red River High School in the late 90s, leading the Rough Riders to back-to-back state championships. In 1997, Bry was named Mr. Hockey, the best prep player in the state. And in the summer, Bry and his parents spent time at the Creel Bay Campground on Devil's Lake, where his love of fishing was spawned.
Yeah, I just have really vague memories. I mean, I remember like Mom making breakfast in the morning and Dad, you know, walked me down on his shoulders kind of thing. I was pretty young. My dad fished a lot, and we were all over the place fishing between here or Lake of the Woods or Skakawea on the western part of the state, but there weren't many weekends we weren't fishing somewhere. Might be a walleye. I can't guarantee that, but yeah, I think it's a walleye.
Think it's a walleye? Another new area in here, Mark, huh? This is a little slice of heaven back in here.
I like it a lot. Oh, geez, I got a really nice fish on here. There she comes. That is a nice fish. Wow.
Nice fish.
That's beautiful. That is a dandy, huh? And that's just a really nice fish. You know, it's 5 pounds, maybe 6 pounds. Beautiful. Nice golden, beautiful fish. 4 feet of water.
How about that?
It doesn't get any better.
Back in 2003, while attending UND, Mark embarked on his first guide trip.
I had 3 gals in the boat that had never fished in their life and went to Pelican Lake and the northwest corner of Devil's Lake, and the pike were definitely cooperating. We got some walleyes too, I remember that, but I was like, yeah, I can do this if I can handle that. These gals had a good time, and I guess it just kind of went from there, and I was just doing it by myself and maybe going, you know, 2 days a week, 3 days a week, and then every year's gotten a little busier.
His guide service these days is in high demand. Just east of Devil's Lake, Bry recently opened the Fish Rehab Lodge, a lodge where his fishing friends, clients, if you will, can relax after a day on the water. Their home away from home.
You know, I didn't really have anyone to show me the ropes or anything that way. I kind of just learned it on my own. And
Self-taught?
yeah, and I kind of liked that it was that way. There's a lot of days I had to struggle to figure things out, but I think it's made me a better fisherman and maybe a better business person too because of it.
Oh, that's a hefty bass.
Oh my goodness.
Holy moly, that's a chunker.
That's 3 pounds.
Jeez.
We're talking 3 pound bass.
Yeah,
That's
without
it.
a doubt.
Wow, damn, that's a really nice fish.
That is a nice fish.
It's a trophy bass.
The
Yeah.
true east end of
You
Devil's
cannot
Lake.
go any farther. You know, this is about as far as she goes. Yeah, this road back here has been built up many times, and I mean, I'm guessing, you know, probably 8 years ago, they made a huge move to keep that road from flooding over, and last year they were working all summer to keep that thing from flooding over. But Devil's Lake is a monstrous lake. I mean, I've heard that over 300,000 acres of lake, if you consider all of the lakes up in the northwest corner, down through Stump Lake.
As we roamed the shallow bays and points of Devil's Lake, we enjoyed the open water version of the hat trick, walleyes, northern pike, and white bass, which may not be an angler's top pick for table fare, but can offer up non-stop fighting action.
That's fun. That's what it's all about.
It is
having
fun. It's a blast.
You know, and there's days you get in the right school of them, Dan, where they might be 3 pounders. You know,
Yeah.
these are probably 1.5 pounds, but
Well, we're in a school of them right now because literally it's every cast.
oh, that is a foot.
Look at that one. That's
Hi.
got to be about 3 pounds.
Yeah, he's pushing it. That's
Pushing
a really nice
3
fish.
pounds, I'd say.
Really nice fish. I do like challenges in life. I mean, I know that sometimes challenges can be overwhelming, and you know, sometimes you have people in the boat that have never fished their entire life, you know,
Yeah.
and that can be a challenge at times to put fish in the box or whatever. But I do like it. I really enjoy everything being a little different every day and going after it. And like I said, when you have people come in from the day and tell you that was the best day they've ever had fishing, and they're all smiles, I mean, it's very, very rewarding as well.
Mark's been guiding on Devil's Lake for 10 years now, and with the weather warming up this week, he knows the best is yet to come. Coming up next, what is this man standing on the edge of a creek doing with his ice fishing equipment?
Dakota Destinations on Midco Sports Network is presented by Vern Ide Motoplex.
I remember going in the backyard of my grandpa's place in Sisseton looking for night crawlers. We would take the night crawlers and then use them to catch walleyes in the glacial lakes region of northeastern South Dakota. Well, we've got a man who's taking catching bait to a whole new level.
Hey everyone, we got ourselves a nice June day here, but you can kind of see the wind's blowing pretty good. Hard day to be on the water today. So we're going to give ourselves a little bit of, still do a little bit of fishing and a little different type of fishing. Oh, that could have got ourselves another one rolling up through the channel. Be a nice creek chub right here. You know, one of the walleyes, that's one of their favorite foods, is a creek chub or even a nice red tail. As you all kind of know, when we go fishing, we need bait to fish with. So what I'm doing today is I'm actually catching bait. The main primer here I'm trying to do today is catching some creek chubs. A lot of these creeks that you got, you find the moving water, you find yourselves a little hole, and it will hold anywhere from creek chubs to red tails. You're catching fish, and that fish you're catching is the bait you want to use for the other species of walleye. There's another nice creek chub. In the Red River Valley, for instance, you know, you got the Red River, and the Red River has, you know, tributaries that come into it. You have the Wild Rice River, you got the Cheyenne River, you got the Maple River, the Elm River. You know, and those all eventually flow into the, you know, into the main river of the Red River. So what kind of look for is you can find little creeks, channels that go into the main part of the Red River, or you can find creeks that go into the Cheyenne River, the Maple River, and find little tributaries that go into those smaller rivers and go upstream a little bit on those, and then that's where you can find some of these creek chubs and red tails. You know, there'll be vehicles that drive by me and I'm down here and they'll pull over and ask, you know, what are you doing down there? And I just tell them, you know, I'm trying to catch some bait fish to go out and do some fishing and stuff, and they just kind of look and don't realize at times that there actually could be some bait fish in here and stuff. And you know, every now and then some of the, you know, around the area you got some of the old timers, they'll just stop by and they just keep asking, getting any shiners today or any chubs today? There he is. Oh, this one's out running. Boy, you find yourself a spot and get some nice creek chubs like this. I tell you, they're hard to even come by at the bait stores. We got ourselves a 24-inch ultralight little ice fishing rod. We just put a small little plain hook on. We put a little split shot above it. And you need that ultralight, and they're so sensitive. You know, when these little bait fish are biting, you can tell immediately. I never put my ice fishing gear away for the whole year. I'm always using it one day or another. You know, sometimes I get more satisfaction out of coming out, catching your own bait, and using that bait, catching walleyes. I tell you, I get a lot of satisfaction out of that.
Check your state laws before heading out to angle for bait. And remember, with the new aquatic species rules, it's illegal to transport water from the creeks you might be fishing. Well, that puts a wrap on this season of Dakota Destinations, but you'll be able to see what we've offered you the last 2 months throughout the summer here on Midco Sports Network. And we'll see you back here next April for a new season of Dakota Destinations. Thanks for watching.